My name's Jonathan Hargreaves and I work for TRN Training. The topic of this session is cuckooing. Let's take a look first of all how we source that word. To do that, we need to take a look at ornithology, which is the study of birds, namely the cuckoo bird. Did you know that the cuckoo bird does not make a nest of its own? They don't bring up their own young. Instead, the female lays her eggs in the nests of other birds, which then rear the baby cuckoo as its own. Which brings me on to the subject of cuckooing. This is a form of crime termed by the police in which drug dealers take over the home of a vulnerable person in order to use it as a base for county lines drug dealing. Now you can see the link. So who might be at risk of cuckooing? Those that have prior experience of neglect, physical or sexual abuse. A lack of a safe, stable home environment now or in the past. Social isolation or social difficulties. Economic deprivation, homelessness or insecure accommodation status. Connections with other people involved in gangs. Having a physical or learning disability. Having a mental health problem. Substance misuses, and a history of being in care. Signs of cuckooing can be many and varied. An increase in people entering and leaving, an increase in cars or bikes outside, antisocial behaviour, people coming and going, damage to the door, doors propped open, unknown people pressing buzzers to gain access. You've not seen the person who lives there recently, or when you have, they seemed anxious or distracted. Unexplained acquisition of money, clothes or mobile phones, excessive receipts of texts, phone calls or having multiple handsets, relationships with controlling older individuals or groups, leaving home or care without explanation, suspicion of physical assault or unexplained injuries, carrying weapons, gang association or isolation from peers or social networks, self-harm or significant changes in emotional well-being, lack of healthcare visitors, and finally, a presence of young people frequenting the property. So the signs are many and varied and something for us all to look out for. Cuckooing is also synonymous with mate crime, and we shall have a look at that in another video. Criminal gangs do not care how much suffering or damage they inflict on people's lives. By using threats of violence or abuse, they take over the homes of vulnerable people to deal drugs and commit other serious crimes. Those whose homes are most vulnerable include older people, those with mental health problems, drug users, or those living in poverty. We all have the power to speak up, to stop gangs and protect those who need help. Thank you for listening.